Hello, these chairs are left for you. As far as this chair is left for you, you'll note it empty. Let's kick somebody else. Thank you very much.
Minister of Law, the Honorable Joseph Hamilton, members of the Board of Industrial Training, Mr. Ganesh Singh, Ms. Penelope Harris, Mr. Michael Turner, Chief Executive Officer of the Board of Industrial Training, Mr. Richard Bond, special invitees, guests, participants, former graduates of the Board of Industrial Training programs, members of the media, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for bearing with me for the last few minutes in going through those very important protocols. But notwithstanding, we will begin our program for this afternoon. Let me be the first to unofficially welcome you to the launch of the Board of Industrial Training's anniversary, celebrating 115 years of excellence. Let's put our hands together for the exceptional work that the Board of Industrial Training has done and continues to do throughout Guyana. Before we go any further, I'll ask that we all stand and recite our national pledge together on the count of three. 2, 3. I pledge to myself, is to be honest in my country, to be obedient to the laws of the land, of my purposes, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity. You may be seated. Now, although I may be able to do a welcome by myself, I think that the welcome will be more fitting coming from one of the board members of the Board of Industrial Training. That person retired as the principal of the Essequibo Technical Institute and is now serving diligently and astutely as a member of the board. And now would like for all of us to invite Mr. Michael Turner to the podium as he welcomes us for this afternoon. Thank you very much, and a very pleasant good afternoon to all present here today. No need for further introducing myself since all was done, and I thank you for being very brief. Uh, I want to first of all say thank you to all of you who came out here today to grace this occasion with your presence and for leaving your busy schedules. This means a lot and says a lot to the invaluable vote of confidence in the Board of Industrial Training. Before I begin to hear some of the good things about the board in terms of its distinguished service. So I am happy to have this distinct privilege to welcome you all to the occasion again of the launching of the 115th year of the existence of the Board of Industrial Training, a period which is by no means to be underestimated because you see, when a organization work spans over a century, it speaks volumes. It says that its relevance has always been there. It says that the maintenance of its work to keep fulfilling its purpose was on target. And so we are happy to be here. This event that we're having here is the beginning of an entire year of celebration. There's going to be trial skill and exhibitions where you'll see some of the work of it. There's going to be programs that will expand on its purpose, expand on its function, and tell you more. I've been with it for quite some time from days of apprenticeship, and I tell you, from it has evolved from managing apprentices in the hundreds to managing the nation's I'd probably say flagship program, the National Training Program for Youth Empowerment, in the thousands. We have put out, more than maybe 20 or so thousands over the last couple of years. And so, in an effort to let you know how happy we are, I'd like to use one of the countryside parlance that I learned some time ago from a person. It made me, it's, when in the country they say things that has nice meanings. And that this parlance says, when family drama beats, not dance. And you would know that when two families fighting brother or sister, you get into there, you in trouble because they turn on you. But let me tell you something today. Today, you are welcome to dance with us as we reflect, as we inform, as we display and explore the work of the Board of Industrial Training. And so, in the way of welcome, we say, the family drum beats, you are hereby welcome to dance with us. So dance. Come on, put your hands together for Mr. Turner for sharing with us a very, very interesting welcome. The work of the Board of Industrial Training is more than just words on paper. And I think throughout the entire proceedings of this anniversary celebration, if nothing else, people will leave with the understanding that the work of the Board of Industrial Training is actionable and tangible and can be felt by all. That is why the Board of Industrial Training, I'm sure you will hear this in the remarks of the CEO and others, has managed to train more than 13,000 people from 2020 to now. If that doesn't deserve a round of applause, I don't know what else would. And so, to continue to share with us in relation to the achievements and the work that the Board of Industrial Training has been doing, I would like to invite Ms. Penelope Harris, and I found that the board has been benefiting from the experience of qualified and quality educators that have spent significant time in the education sector. Mrs. Harris spent significant time as the principal of the Carnegie School of Home Economics and now continues to serve the nation as a member of the board. Let's put our hands together as Ms. Harris comes to address us.
Thank you. A very pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Honorable Minister Joseph Hamilton, CEO, Secretary Mr. Jamon, fellow colleagues on the Board of Industrial Training, especially invited guests, hardworking members of staff of the Board of Industrial Training. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for us to be celebrating 150 years of existence of the Board of Industrial Training in Guyana. When the Board of Industrial Training was started during our colonial era on May the 28th, 1910, we can trace with pride progress and development over the decades, moving from apprenticeship and engaging masters to provide training to upskilling workers, training and bottom house workshops, so well-developed skills training programs that have served to change the mindset of many of our citizens who are now entrepreneurs. There are many success stories, or can see themselves as future business owners and masters. We have quite a few success stories, and I'm hoping that over the year we will be able to interact with many of those persons who, because of the training they received through the Board of Industrial Training, are really making great strides in technical fields. On behalf of our astute chairman of the board, Mr. David Armagon, and other members of our board, we wish every member of staff and all of our trainees of the various programs every success in the future. Cheers to celebrating not just our successes, but the road that got us there. And we are still on the journey. In technical and vocational education and training, we embrace lifelong learning. I really like how my colleague Mr. Turner put it. Join us in the dance. Because in technical education, we are more tactile than academic. We're not putting aside academics, but we are very much active in what we do, what we say. We do not forget or ignore the past, since the past informs our future. However, we are constantly looking forward and not backward. Anniversaries serve as a time of reflection and introspection, or they should. What are some of the reasons that we celebrate? We celebrate the greater involvement of women in the workforce, particularly in non-traditional areas like heavy duty equipment operation, electrical installation, and others. We're seeing women coming to the fore doing well, and in some cases even better than our male counterparts. We celebrate the expansion of our skills training programs into all the regions of Guyana, thus enabling all of our citizens, especially indigenous Guyanese, to gain access to more skills training. We celebrate with you the inclusion of new programs which are relevant to the development of our society, such as fiber optic cable installation. We celebrate with you the recognition and inclusion of soft skills and aspects of emotional intelligence into all of our training programs so that it's not only hard skills. We celebrate the fact that staff members are encouraged and facilitated when it comes to upgrading themselves and upskilling. We celebrate the increased capacity of the Secretariat to offer more programs and to reach greater and greater numbers of trainees all across Guyana. After the celebration, let us understand that the journey continues as we evolve as a people. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, but it's the courage to continue that really counts. So let's continue. Continue to adapt, continue to change, continue to inspire, continue to create, continue to build, and let's be successful together. Let's dance together. Thank you.
Let's dance together. Thank you so much, Mrs. Harris, for sharing those remarks with us. An important component of Mrs. Harris's remarks references the success stories that we have seen over the last 115 years as a result of the impact the Board of Industrial Training has made on the lives of people. I had the privilege of speaking with one of those success stories some time ago, a 70-year-old gentleman from the township of Linden. Minister Hamilton will know, Mr. Turner may know exactly who I'm referencing, who said in no uncertain terms that he took that opportunity to keep his brain active, even in what he considers to be his older years. And that just goes to show the expansive nature of the Board of Industrial Training and the work that they have been doing. And speaking about that expansive nature and the type of inclusivity that the Board of Industrial Training has offered, we know that the board has been working with persons living with disabilities to ensure that they are not left out of the work that is being done. And there is a phrase that is used in our Guyanese society that says that we shouldn't talk with water in my mouth. And I hope not today to talk with water in my mouth. So I brought the evidence that is necessary in the form of none other than Mr. Ganesh Singh, who is an ardent advocate, making sure that nobody is left behind, particularly in relation to those people living with disabilities. And I'd like to invite to the podium Mr. Ganesh Singh as he speaks with us this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gill. Honorable Joseph Hamilton, Minister of Labour, members, directors of the Board of Industrial Training, CEO of the Board of Industrial Training, special invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Before I share my brief remarks on the impact of DIT on persons with disabilities, I want to preface by saying congratulations to the Minister, CEO, directors of Board of Industrial Training, and staff that made it all possible for BIT to be relevant in a changing landscape. Technology is taking over, has taken over in many areas, but BIT has maintained its relevance. So for that, congratulations to everyone that's involved. One of the key features of BIT's work over the past few years is the inclusion of every marginalized group in their training programs. BIT has impacted the lives for the past 150 years of many vulnerable groups within our society. And many of those lives have been positively changed. Many of those individuals have and are living independent lives. In 2016, the pathway of working with persons with disabilities was established. And it was established through a conversation with the now CEO when he was a senior technical officer, Mr. Moore. And that was a conversation between myself and him on how we could include persons with disabilities in BIT's work. It was a very fruitful conversation, and in a matter of weeks, we had our first set of training programs for persons with disabilities. That expanded in 2020 when the Minister Hamilton, took over the Ministerial Labor portfolio. We had an established relationship with him in his previous political portfolios, and that was maintained when he took over Labor, which is an agency under that ministry. And we started to train more persons with disabilities. From 2020 to present, BIT, in partnership with the Ghana Council of Organization for Persons with Disabilities, have trained over 450 persons with disabilities in various skill areas. Many of these persons have moved on to various levels of employment. We have persons who are entrepreneurs, utilizing the skills gained through the BID programs. Some are full-time employees of various government and private sector agencies, and some are working part-time. Additionally, some persons would have utilized the skills gained through BID to embark in other fields or in other academic programs. Because one of the things that we are very happy about with it is that they're flexible in the programs that we can run for persons with disabilities. Not every organization or funding agency understands the nuances of the disability community and what might be required. For example, BID sees JAWS training, that is training blind persons to use a computer as a skill. The reason being, you can be a blind person with a degree, but if you don't know to use that computer, you're useless. And it's a skill that has been taught through BID and other agencies, because I don't want Bev and the others from the NTF looking at me differently. Through other agencies for the past, I would say, 8 to 10 years. Sign language is another skill that's required in our society to facilitate communication for persons with disabilities. We are able to do it through it. We have seen many of my colleagues within the community. Their lives are now much, much more transformed. They are financially independent and they're on the path of some economic security. Why? Because they were beneficiaries of BIT's programs. And I trust that the relationship with it and the disability community will continue and will grow so that more persons with disabilities can benefit from the wonderful work of BIT. Before I close, I just want to share that the work we did with BIT, that's the Ghana Council of Organization for Persons with Disabilities, through that work, we were able to receive a prestigious award, that's the Ghana Council. That award is from the Zero Project, which is based in Austria. And it's for innovative vocational skills training for persons with disabilities. It's a prestigious award, and we received that earlier in March. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the trip for personal reasons. So because of that work, we were honored. So it just shows the impact that these programs are making on the lives of persons with disabilities. So once again, congratulations to the Minister and the team at the Board of Industrial Training for the work done and the work that will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again, Mr. Singh, for sharing that information with us. At this time, we will be serenaded before we continue our program by a very, very talented group of young people who are here with us. You don't necessarily have to see them, but I can assure you that you will hear them. And at this point in time, I'd like to turn your attention over to none other than the Guyana Police Force Field Orchestra. Put your hands together for them as they prepare the ceremony. Let's put our hands together again one more time for the Guyana Police Force Student Orchestra. The next voice that you will be hearing is a gentleman with extreme, very large set of experience in the areas of technical and vocational education training. In fact, based on the information I have garnered, he spent some 26 plus years with experience in TVET, um, with 5 years of practice in management in the areas of, of training and modernizing agencies across the country. In fact, he is also, for information that may not be relevant for this program, but information you may want to know for any other time, he's also a certified family life educator with 5 years of active experience in that regard. And so if you want to meet him after for any advice, you can feel free to do so as well. The person I speak of is none other than the Chief Executive Officer of the Board of Industrial Training, Mr. Richard Moore.
Since someone was Googling me, and the other day I was out of the country, thanks to the Honorable Minister representing Guyana in Barbados. I checked in very quietly, and while checking out, the young man at the desk said, I Googled you, and the next time you come, you'll get special treatment. Start explaining what I do in Guyana. I have to block some of my information on social media. Honorable Minister, partners in development, representative of the private sector, colleagues from the public sector, alumni, trainees of the Board of Industrial Training, special invitees, members of the media. We're always delighted to have around. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. It is with honor and privilege I address all of you on this significant occasion, the official launching of 115th anniversary celebration of the Board of Industrial Training. 115 years. This is not just a number. To many of us, to most of us, and I hasten to say, it should not just be a number to all of us. It is a testament to the resilience, relevant, and reform the Board of Industrial Training has experienced over the years. I say reform. Before I became familiar with the Board of Industrial Training, our key programs used to be the National Apprenticeship Program. And sometime in 2005, the decision of the government then was to make sure the Board of Industrial Training implement or commence the implementation of the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment. And that reform would have enabled the Board of Industrial Training to impact the lives of thousands of individuals in Guyana who are now working both locally and abroad. We reach them as we travel locally and as we travel internationally. So it's such reform that would have helped the Board of Industrial Training to maintain its relevance. As I speak about reform, in 2020, when the Honorable Minister visited us, under the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment, of course, our core intention, or by design, we focus mainly on youths. The Honorable Minister gave a policy directive, which is reflective of the government directive, that the Board of Industrial Training must allow all Guyanese to access its training program. So we start implementing the National Training Program for Empowerment, which allows every citizen who wants to develop themselves, be it skilling, to access the programming of the Board of Industrial Training. So 115 years stands as a testament of the resilience, the relevance, and the reform that the Board of Industrial Training experienced over those years. Founded in May 1910, the Board of Industrial Training began as a modest institution with a bold mission to equip young men. Please note, to equip young men with practical skills needed to power our nation's industries. Over the decades, it has evolved into a national institution that now reaches communities from the coastland to the hinterland, from riverine to urban centers. The Board of Industrial Training reach all regions in Guyana and equip young men as well as young women with skill. As well also, in addition to that, because of the mandate we received in 2020, we equip all people of all age, from all walks in Guyana, with skills that are relevant for the current and future needs of the labor market. Today, as we launch our year-long celebration, yes, 115 years inspires not just to focus on one day, but to launch a year-long celebration. So as we launch this celebration, we pause to reflect on the thousands of lives transformed through technical vocation, education, and training. We remember the instructors who dedicated themselves to teaching. We also reflect on those who did not pause during COVID. We reflect on those who paid the ultimate price, such as Winslow Graffit, to make sure that 400 individuals from the hinterland community received skill in heavy-duty equipment operation and photovoltaic training. So individuals give their lives to make sure BIT remain relevant in our
contemporary society. The administrative staff, of course, over the last 15 years, from 2010 to now, the Board of Industrial Training has been headed by many administrators, from Alana Brassington to Genevieve Blackman to Maria Kellewan to Roderick Nurse. All these individuals has contributed meaningfully to the growth of the Board of Industrial Training. So we have the administrative staff of the Secretariat, and you're too numerous for me to call today by name, but you know yourself. You will be recognized and celebrated as we continue our year-long celebration. So the chairmen who have headed the Board of Industrial Training during that period, the late Honorable Dale Bishnor, the late Clinton Williams. So, and during that period, I hasten to say also that the only one that is remaining is our current chairman, David Armagon, who have given leadership to the board, who set the policy directive for the Secretariat. We pause to reflect on their contribution. Staff who keep the wheels turning on a daily basis. And to the countless trainees who walk into our program seeking opportunity and walk out with dignity, skills, and hope. While the Board of Industrial Training, we boast of our numbers, and today I cannot mention the numbers. You know them all so well. Oftentimes, we do not mention the many individuals who walk through our doors, who come and gain access to our training program as a result of someone telling them before that they cannot learn. You cannot learn. As a result of their reaching into full form and someone saying you do not have the capacity to go on further, they come to us. And as Ms. Paris and Turner would have articulated, there is something about TVET programming that once you allow someone to use their hands and then they realize that they can learn, they never stop learning. Those many individuals leave with hope. Minister Hamilton will share stories of those who approach big individuals, senior individuals in tears, celebrated their achievement as a result of the training programs they would have benefited from that the Board of Industrial Training implements. This celebration is not simply about the past as we gather today. It is about the journey forward. We are in the midst of a national and global transformation. As Guyana economy expands, driven by oil and gas, renewable energy, construction, daily we see stronger need for more persons with a relevant skill, agriculture, ICT, emerging technology. The demand for skilled, adaptable, and future-ready workers is more urgent than ever before. Mr. Supal, who heads the Gaisuku Training Center, will tell you that the Board of Industrial Training is always forthcoming in making sure that we stay relevant and making sure that we evolve based on the demand of society. Over the past years alone, 3 years or so alone, we have increased the numbers of persons enrolled, diversify our program, strengthen partnership with private sector. Now we have company-owned or with international relationship sponsoring entire training programs for the Board of Industrial Training, such as Reunion Gold. Expand our reach into indigenous community. We are training persons in parts of Guyana where no other agency may be implementing training as we speak. We are training not just youths, but mothers and fathers, people with disability as articulated by Mr. Ganesh, second chance learners who are rewriting their story. So we are impacting lives. We are making skill accessible, inclusive, and empowering. With the mandate from the Honorable Minister, we have expanded our reach, making sure that there is technical officers in all the administrative regions of Guyana. We have expanded our reach, constructing training facility in the hinterland, in Region 3, in Region 7, Region 6, making sure that people have access to training program. And we can boast about this. But as we boast, we are cognizant that we would not have been able to boast had it not been for the government of Guyana making the financial and other relevant resources available for us to impact the lives of Guyanese. Staying true to the social contract they have with the people of Guyana. As we move through this 115th anniversary celebration, we undertake several key initiatives. The creation of a national archive of bit, audiovisual, photographic record to preserve our legacy and to showcase our commitment to national development. And it's not just about bit, but it's to showcase that technical, vocational, education and training have a key role in national development. An alumni spotlight celebrating the graduates who have gone on to become business owners, innovators, leaders in many sectors. Regional exhibition showcasing the innovation and input of technical, vocational education and training in every region of Guyana. A lot of times when we do things, we only do it in Region 4. We will make sure that every region knows what is happening, know how the programs are impacting life, and know how representative citizens, residents of those regions can benefit or access the training program. We intend to have a poetry competition open to both children and adults. The competition aimed to highlight the benefit of technical vocational education and training to personal and national development. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not just an institution to me. It is a movement of hands and hearts and mind. Yes, many may say that if you can't learn, send them to do a trade. Ms. Harris, Ms. Turner, and many individuals who came in contact with technical vocational education and training, as yours truly, will know that it is not just about the hand, but it's also about the head. Many years ago, it was mentioned some 26 years working in technical vocational education and training, but it did not start there. It started with me deciding that I would just do a trade at the Guyana Technical Institute. All I want to do is learn how to do a trade. And when I turn up there, I realize that chemistry and physics and the sciences are also involved. So it's about the hands, the heart, and the mind. The movements towards dignity of work, economic empowerment, and nation building through skills. Thus, with the continued support of the government of Guyana, as Minister Hamilton continued to lobby, and other social partners, BIT will continue to promote TVET for workforce readiness and national productivity. BIT will seek to strengthen the National Apprenticeship Program in the context of the ILO recommendation 208, Quality Apprenticeship Program 2023, while also focusing on other forms of work-based learning and prior learning assessment and recognition, thereby allowing more artisans to receive credentials for the skills they have acquired over the years of practice. I close by acknowledging the Honorable Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, whose leadership and unwavering support have strengthened and have given strategic directive to the Board of Industrial Training. Our board members, our instructors, our regional partners, our committed staff, and I hasten to say again, our committed staff, who don't only work 8 to 4, but work 8 to late. Because many of our current training programs are implemented in the evening. I say thank you. Your work is nation building in its highest form. It's not just about what you do at the Board of Industrial Training, but it's about what you do and how it impacts our nation at large. To our current and future trainees, this is your moment. Take the tools we provide to build your future, the future you envision. The next 150 years, I hope to live to see it through. Wishful thinking, but we need to wish. Thank you. And may God continue to bless the work of the Board of Industrial Training and the Cooperative Republic of Guyana as we continue to inspire hearts and change life. Before I sit, I want to call forward Ms. Indira Singh. Is she close by? And those who have been working to plan the 115-year celebration, I want you to step forward. Yes, Indira. You and your team. Any comments? Where's Kimberly Chance? Come forward, come forward. The folks are waiting to take a picture with you. Those on the team. Ms. Trainee Paris.
Yes.
Please step forward. Mr. Turner. Where's Jason? Marina. I'm behind the scene. So, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the chairman of the board, and I will hasten to say the Honorable Minister, but I know he will do it himself when it comes to speak, to say thanks to these individuals, staff of the Board of Industrial Training, guided also by directors of the board, although busy in retirement, are making the time to make sure that the activities of the Board of Industrial Training are strategically planned and skillfully executed. So once again, we thank you for your contribution to this, the commencement of this activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mon, for your very inspiring words and your words of encouragement for the team and for not only the people working for the Board of Industrial Training, but even those that have been impacted and will, in short order, be impacted by the type of work that is done by the board. Mr. Mon said in his presentation that the bid started out as an initiative geared at training young men and giving young men skills. And it's interesting to know that 115 years later, not only is the Board of Industrial Training training men, young men, but they've managed over the last few years to train 7,000, more than 7,600 women in different programs as well. Put your hands together for the women as well that have taken up the mantle. And we see these stories very often. The women who are now our heavy duty equipment operators, our electricians, and all of those technical skills. At this time, we want to find one of the best ways to show you how impactful and effective the work of the Board of Industrial Training is. And so I will call forward the members of the team that will be performing a very important and interesting activity to share with us this afternoon. Let's put our hands together for the team as they come forward.
The next bit is by the Salaman. They're right there. I don't like stand up too long, you know. I don't like stand up too long. That's somebody calling me. Wait. John, Diana, you're for long time here from your school there. You're coming around the car, come quick, your party, we go to the night. Gracie, girl, how you doing? Oh, Diana, what's up? It's been so long. But if I tell you, I'm up to girl, I know when we went to school, you went to school with your daughter. Yeah. And I know you didn't learn nothing good. So we up to now. No, but if I tell you, I am so happy. You know, I thought that this school thing ain't working out for me. But sure, let me tell you, man, let me tell you. What you got to tell me? Yes. Here now. You ever hear about big program? Yeah. Yes. Big somebody. You bite? No. Sure, you always. It's Board of Industrial Training. Board of Industrial Training? Yeah. Who's there over there? Yeah, they're all over the region. Region 1 to 10. Come on, you make it true. And remember, we did Region 4. So here now. Hold on. Board of Industrial Training. Yes. Hold on, these people that go. Oh, it's long, much more than me. And you're 115 years. Man, I am 65 and I'm there for more than people. I want it, but you know me, that is great, right? Oh, you. So I said, I can put my hands to the test and do some skills. Skills? Yes! Diana, you? Yes, you what? Yes. Lie. So here, that be surprised to hear. Yes, you know. So my friend tell me about this program, and I enroll, and you're a big one, me down to the class. I share. Anyway, when I walk in, I did the interview, I got you, and I started, and here, you should join because they're very strict. Listen, there are class rules and stuff. They tell you about cooking and well, food preparation because you use the right terms. Yeah. Girls even have soft skills to learn. And English is getting better. No. Now it's like, hello, good evening. I have to dot my I's and cross my T's. Like all of that you were learning on that program. Are you saying what program you're doing? You see I'm well dressed. Girl, it's English, it's math, and they're teaching you measurement. You know me. Well, I ain't not really math, but I learn it because you measurement. Yes. So you learn all of that? I learned to prepare a menu card. So when I have dinner with my husband now, it's for the parties, table setting, I never write a letter in my life. Gracie, you see the letter? Girl, it's taught me to write a letter of application, a letter of absence from duty, resumption of duty, resumption to duty. I even did a resignation from the company. Got out of my own business because she taught me business plan. She taught me how to do my business card. And girl. Hold on. What's this exam? So you're in Region 6. Yeah. Yes.
Part of the job for you.
Well, the training that I'm doing is at Eccles. Eccles, yes.
Part of the job.
It's not far. You know
What is
sorry
sorry
sign? No. You know what the sorry sign is?
Sorry.
Remember when the four kind of we want to my Chinese majority?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Alright, sorry. The second time, you just look at your left, flat limit. Yeah, very good, very good. You got. See, you got join. You got join. You're gonna learn a lot at the old age. I could join. You could join. Anybody's welcome. It should be brain active. If I could do
What
it.
programs they got, man?
Man, they got different employment lists. Different things.
Plumbing,
Yes.
all that.
Heavy duty. Gotta get the hospital. You have to
Sorry,
program.
man. I have to pay to win.
Sidewalk. You gotta get paid for your hobby. Yes. But what's condo? Listen, we have programs like welding.
Welding,
Yeah, even the women. Look, look.
like, so that's one thing.
But and guess what? As a woman, I welded from building to bridge, and even the island gas sector.
Like, you do welding? Oh, Jesus.
Gentlemen, so they go with the program, you know, Miss Hampton. Girl, we program, girl. Everybody know the program, the man is everybody. You come. You could do something with yourself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, I got a good minister.
Well,
Encouraging everybody on board. You like.
How you think they ever buy the place?
Oh gosh. Hold on. So you are doing plumbing.
Hold on, I'm done. Y'all make me rush in the brush. Y'all even got male doing shit.
You like.
And yes, I'm a Ministry of Labor driver, and I'm proud. I am proud because I did the heavy duty course. I have certified in the heavy duty course, and now I move on to food and nutrition, commercial food and nutrition, and soon I will be chef. Chef in the making. He said, when the program is sweet, you do it twice.
All right. So you did the heavy duty course.
Yeah,
And then now you're doing the commercial thing.
yeah.
And you enjoying everything.
I enjoy everything.
Like based on
My
that.
life, coffee, white, plain, you
So you know it's a boy. I am proud. Because it's something I like very much.
Okay.
And this here goes to all the young men and the big men them too. Not only for women.
All right. What else you have there?
Here we have English. Let me introduce you to the English teacher.
I really about the time. Skills.
Now the soft skills, it's so, but it's English, right?
So you know the English class.
Yeah, Miss Cheryl and Sam. Yeah, yes.
Very strict. Yeah, she's very strict. She don't play with her work. And so you're going there to learn. Okay. So what else is she teaching?
She's teaching maths, English and maths. So, you know, when you're going to go there and you're going to learn, you're going to be all prepped and ready to present to the world all your business.
I'm really missing out. Wait. So how soon will I start this?
Well, here I heard that,
Yeah, next Monday we'll be starting again, so they have fresh batch. You could start. Are you sure I could be on the program? It's for any age. Any age, y'all hear that? Young and old. So here what happened. I want y'all to come along with me and let me get on any one of it program.
yes, Hannah, before I go, let me introduce you to my friend. She's a graduate of the BED program. It's Wishing. Oh, gosh.
She must have done this. She graduated I gone through.
No, girl. A graduate should do a good business.
I have graduated 2 years ago and I'm working at the Marriott.
All right. You see, proud product of it. So I want to tell you that if it wasn't for the Ministry of Labor and Minister and the board, sure, I don't know, I would have never left it work and go my own business. I'm looking out.
God bless them, and I'm gonna tell you something. I understand the teacher we talking about the grades. But the program really good to see, you know. That lady, whole family are bid certified people from your husband and your 3 children. So I got to go on the program now. God bless you. Thank you.
You can, it's according to your schedule. You can go in the morning or you can go in the night. So it's to your privilege. So if you can't make it in the morning, be sure to make it in the night.
Yeah, great. See that guys. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need a better example of what we does. We want to say thank you to the team for so brilliantly depicting the work of the Board of Industrial Training for the people that have benefited so far. We're coming to the end of our program, and it would be remiss of us to have this program and not allow the visionary, the astute, and of course, the exemplary Minister of Labour, the Honorable Joseph Hamilton, who will come and speak with us. I learned recently that his story is an interesting one, that he grew up between cane cutters and fishermen, and of course, is now the Minister of Labour. Let's stand and welcome him as he comes to the podium.
Thank you very much, Anderson. Okay. Let me first say thanks to the members of the table and to all of you good people who have come out here to celebrate with us the launch of 115 years of the Board of Industrial Training. So for that, those persons who are students of the Bible, there is 2 stories. It speaks to a man who lived 969 years old. His name was Methuselah. And all the Bible said that Methuselah lived 969 years and he died. And if we look at the work of a man who lived for 32 years, that work, his work, people speak to and about thousands of years after. I mentioned that to say that this 115 years for us is not a number. It's an active number. They have passive numbers and they have active numbers. We have a lot of people who are passive numbers. You celebrate their 42nd birthday, but then when you add it up, what did they do with 42 years? Can point to nothing. Not even a picnic, not even cats. You know? Just about. And so, it's not about a number. It's about what you do with the number. And that's what we're celebrating here. And you would have heard the speakers, they spoke to what has happened over the period, different times, when they were able to interact with the Board of Industrial Training. As minister, coming now about 5 years, as I walked into this building here, this yard rather, on the 5th of August, 2020. Importantly, what you see here today did not exist. Did not exist. But we have together built a ministry that did not exist in 2020. There was no Ministry of Labor existed in 2020. It was a department in some other ministry. And the staff of the ministry, they operated at Donkey City. And it was operating by the St. George's Cathedral. I say all of that to say, what keeps me going as minister of the Ministry of Labor? Not so much sitting in that office, but going out there and interacting with people, seeing lives change through the length and breadth of this country. A couple weeks into being minister, I had an experience that stays with me up to this moment. I went to Diamond Community Center. When I got there, about 10 women rushed to the door with a lot of emotions and tears. I couldn't understand what was happening. What was happening? We were training 35 women, many of them matured women, who for the first time in their life in 20 years and 15 years and 10 years, they paid no attention to their development and their dream. Whatever dream they had when they were going primary school and secondary school, it was subsumed by man and picnic. And so they were in tears that for the first time, they can point to something that they were doing for themselves. And a woman and her daughter testified that the year before, they couldn't even eat properly at Christmas time. But the year after the training, commercial food preparation, they were able to make tens of thousands of dollars baking cakes and pastries and selling to the people in Diamond. For the first time, both mother and daughter, they can point to upward mobility. Vision 2, I remember a man came to me, again, tears, 25 years old. And he said, Minister, married, a 5 picnic, but this is the first certificate I have ever received in my life. So the training is one thing, the technical skills. Building capacity is another. But the psychological upliftment of people, and you would see it coming out in the skin. There are many questions. They're a different person when they finish the program. They're not the same person who came into the program. So the skills is one thing, but the upliftment. They think differently. They don't see themselves as failures anymore because they have successfully done something. And so I speak to that about changing lives. My greatest joy as minister is being out there. Some people ask me, Minister, you like you never get tired. But what gives me energy is when I talk to people who can testify about their transformation. A woman, a Parika, her testimony is at the age of 48. She joined our training program at Lenora Technical Institute. She didn't finish primary school. And at the graduation, she was stirred. Even with limited education, she said all she did in her life was to do odds and end work in people's kitchen, to help her husband, to feed the family who was a cake cutter. She said that program created the conditions where today she's a business owner with 4 staff in the field of garment construction. And I can speak to those things. And so that is what keeps me going all the time. And I became minister, I had a conversation with me. That goes on. I didn't know the people. I went over there and I said, let me explain something to you. If you're just in this job for salaries, you're the wrong place. If you're in this job to help me to change lives, you're the right place. And I said to them, your life is good, I suppose. Many of you have done well. But you alone doing well is not good enough for the country to develop. I said to them this simple thing. I believe that the more people we train, is less people going to want to jump in our houses to rob us. I understand. So, but people who don't understand how they fit into this matter. Less people would want to take away that phone from our ears when we never get it all talking to somebody. Less people would want to lash in our car windows if we forget the computer inside the car. So all of this that we're doing, and that's why we have to celebrate it. It is saving lives and in ensuring that communities keep safe. So we celebrate, and that's why I say it's not a number we're celebrating. We're celebrating action. At the back there, you'll see many people came in. Many of our trainees are listed. But I want to introduce you to a special set of trainees. Richard Pat spoke to it in passing. 20 young women who we are training in PV system technology and installation, funded by the World Bank, supervised by the China Energy Agency, from 10 of our regions across this country. One of the young ladies, she hails from Kurukumaru. You that don't know, that is the highest point where people live in Guyana. 3,200 feet above sea level. So for us, whether it's Borealis in Buruta, in the Quarantine River, whether it's Morakamai in the Mahika River, and today I see us launching programs at St. Cuthbert's Mission, whether it's the top of Kato, whether it's the top of Parmakatoy, whether it's the deep south Rupaluni, and I can go on and on and on. Every place in this cooperative Republic of Guyana, the print and stamp of the Board of Industrial Training, it has been felt. That's why this is not a wishy-washy celebration. It's a celebration of action and success. 4 years we have trained 12,742 persons through the length and breadth of this. 60% of those persons were women. We have been able to impact and change women's lives. Women who doubted themselves that they could function in jobs where men dominate. I was in London to launch programs, and two women sat waiting for me just to say to me, Minister, I am the only heavy duty equipment operator in this mining country. I could tell you about those stories. We've expanded beyond what it used to be. I have visited oil and gas companies, and I have seen men and women who are proud to stand up. Some of them are supervisors in oil and gas companies who said to me, Minister, I start in this journey was the board of industrial training. Gaisuko, which I alluded to, one of our partners in apprenticeship, I'm sure they can speak to you about what has happened regarding the training program we do together with them. So, BIT has been so successful that we have regularly people come to us to say, we will be doing training. Well, you guys stop knocking your knock later. We will be doing training, and we are seeking to have you execute the training programs for us. I just spoke to the World Bank program. We did a program also financed by the IDB. We are doing programs, as I speak to you, financed by the Basic Needs Trust Fund of the Ministry of Finance. Practically all the tractor drivers that you will find when you visit Amerindian communities, all of those questions were trained by the Board of Industrial Trade. So local for here, we trust you so much that we are going to take tens of millions of dollars and transfer it into your account. At the domestic level, a lot of men and women would jump off the roof if their spouse do that. Let me go with that. I gotta pass some people, right? I gotta pass some people. I was making a point to bring relevance to what I'm saying. At the domestic level, a lot of husband and wife, and bay and B, they would be delighted if their other half come to them and say, you know what? I have transferred to some of the money I have in my account at Republic Bank. I have transferred it to your account at General Bank. So think about it. The confidence and putting it together that our partners they have in the Board of Industrial Trade. Just this morning, Richard will tell you, the DeVry Institute from the United States, they came to see us to see if they could partner with us. The Hart Institute, Technical Foundation of Jamaica, they have come, they have signed MOU. Infotech of the Dominican Republic, We have MOU. For that matter, some of our staff is scheduled to go to Dominican Republic. And the people, they were here sometime last year. So I can go on and on about this period, what we have done, how we have built this Board of Industrial Training. For the trainers that are here, and for the board, we have to build on what we have accomplished in 150 years. And therefore, in my view, we have to move our training programs to a place where we apply innovation and creativity. We're training of people, they're being trained also how to resolve problems. It's not just for the training of getting a job. How to resolve problems. How to perhaps do something better in the area of the skills. The ladies who are doing the commercial food preparation, I'm sure all of them before they joined the program, they really thought they could cook. I'm sure. I don't know. I am sure all the ladies who we have trained in commercial food preparation, they really believe that they're the best cook in the village. But they will tell you that when they join the program, then they understand that I really don't know to cook. Because you know the simple test is, when we're cooking at home and we determine how much salt or black pepper or whatever is in food, we take the pot spoon and we throw it in the hand with the I need to salt. That's not how it works when you're cooking for people. Important to cooking for people is consistency of taste. The egg must taste the same way every day. The patty must just squash in it. It must got then the pint tag. When you say pint tag, must be pint tag and squash pan. And you go to a function, and they say they're sharing 3 straws. But when it comes, it's small straw. So, the art of cooking, culinary art, is fundamental to developing society. Fundamental. Some people ask the question, why are we training all of these people to cook? You can't discuss building 14 hotels. I'm not training people to cook. So, ladies and gentlemen, how we innovate and create. Rather than fabricators, it can't be anymore just weld up the grill. You have to apply some computerized skill to do designs and metalwork engineering tasks. Ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you like me, we haven't had lunch, so I would delay. I don't know if it has lunch or snacks. I didn't know, I didn't find out. But I just want to say it to you. Our trainees, I normally say to them, you are the most important component in our training program. Without trainees, there is no training. Without trainees, we have no need for trainers. And without trainees, we have no need for technical officers. And we have no need for CEO and board. So we're grateful, we're thankful that you have come to the Board of Industrial Training to be uplifted. So our trainers, thank you very much. I know trying to train mature people is not an easy task. Unless you have patience and tolerance, you can't do it. You could be the best in what you do. Our technical officers, thank you all very much for coordinating and supporting in your regions, in your sub-regions over the period. That in 4 years we were able to train nearly 13,000 persons across this country. Our partners, private sector, public sector, the members of the board, chairman of the board, deepest appreciation to you. Because what has made my life easy is the fact that people who I communicate with, they understand what the vision is. That's what has made my life easy. If I had come into a situation where, like what people used to say, it's so hard, these people, I would not have been screaming and celebrating. Because, and I tell you this, what I learned is that many persons, board and management, thoughts and ideas, they were there. But in this, like public management, important matter is a policy direction and buy-in. You can have the greatest plan. If you don't have from your level of policy, people are committed to it. People are committed to ensure they fight for the resources. That's why Richard, they will tell you, I don't make fun when the Ministry of Finance make money available. My thing is, no money. You were allowed to go back to the consolidated fund. You better train all them people. You understand the story? Because my company will tell you, if you ask for $800,000, a Ministry of Finance give you $800,000. And then when you then come, you only spend million I'm talking about. When you then come, you only spend $650 million of the 800 million. But next year you're going to tell them you can spend $1 billion. That's something after you. I give you $800 million last year. You said that, but I'm going to ask for more. But we narrow it down. And here you got $800 million in your hand. And you ain't overspend it. But somehow you're telling us this year that you know to spend $1 billion. Let me knock out some zeros. So, all of us here, all our partners, you have contributed to ensure that when we go and make our case, Ministry of Finance, pay attention to our case. Because they have seen the work of the Board of Industrial Training. We are now, as indicated by Richard, building our own training facilities. First time in the history of it, 115 years. We are building training facilities. Because we believe that in the next period, the next term, there's more work to be done, more people to be trained, more women to ensure that they come into the area that they were kept out from over the period. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me say thank you all very much for coming out to have us together lunch, the Board of Industrial Training, 150th anniversary. And as Richard indicated, we have several more activities over the period that we will invite you to attend. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister Hamilton, for sharing that with us. We really, really appreciate it. As we bring our program to the close, this is a very important part of our segment of our program. It references releasing, launching, unveiling this year's calendar of activities for the anniversary. That calendar of activities happens to be just behind me. and I'm told that there is somebody with a scissors somewhere. Oh, okay, we don't need a scissors. So we just need to pull this. I'll ask Minister Hamilton
I want to put it wrong.
and the CEO can support him. Let me step out of the way. So you can pull it on my wait, don't pull yet. Don't pull yet, don't pull it back. We gotta calm down the thing and so on. Alright, let's make sure that we do this. Good? Alright. So on the count of three, we're gonna be pulling it, right, Minister?
Yeah. Which one is it called then?
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Come on, chance together, man.
Okay.
Several activities. You have there starting from the 20th of April in Region 7. You have, that's in Region 7, on the 25th of April, BID takes its activities to Region number 2. On the 28th of April, you can expect the Board of Industrial Training at the Linden Bus Park in Region number 10. Region 5 and 6 will be catered for at the New Amsterdam Market on May 9, and they head over again to Region 6 on the 10th of May at the Caribbean Market. Region number 1 will be visited on the 12th of May, and you can find them at the Kamaka waterfront. Regions 3 and 4 will be the main exhibition. The main exhibition will occur on the 27th of May, and the final activity also in Region 4 will be the award ceremony. These are the fair trade exhibitions that you can expect in the various regions. So we invite you to visit these activities and see the success stories of the trainees for yourselves in every single region. Let's put our hands together one more time for the Ministry of Labor and the Board of Industrial Training. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the board who spent their time with us in executing this activity. I'd like to thank the Chief Executive Officer of the Board of Industrial Training as well for organizing, and his team for organizing and executing this activity, and the Minister of Labor, Minister Joseph Hamilton, for spending his time with us as well. On behalf of the team, on behalf of the Board of Industrial Training and the Ministry of Labor, we want to say thank you for spending this time with us and continue to follow all of the activities of the Board of Industrial Training. With that being said, my name is Shaquan here, and like I like to do it on TV, goodbye for now. Oh, fans.